Game number 2 is going to be played on Overgrowth, with Petraeus spawning in the top right location as the yellow Zerg player, as he always does, wear this color. And his opponent is going to be MarineLord from Team Millennium. Recently, I think I saw him recently on the Destro fighting talk show, what's it called, Remax? Guy has a pretty funny accent, but at the same time I love it. You know, it's like, well, I think Tehran has a disadvantage in that stage of the game. That's so cool. I mean, it's something right out of the movie. I really love it. I love it. I don't think anybody should be ashamed of their accent, especially since English is not my first language. So, you know, I do have a heavy accent, as you can hear. Anyways, barracks opening here for MarineLord. Petraeus, is he gonna go for a hatch first? Is he gonna go for pool first? Looks like it's gonna be hatch first. I don't know why he pulled 2 drones, and he's even scouting for proxies. I really like this. There are players who like proxying on this map, very much so. Lilakanin, for example, or Fuzer, just to name a few. So, a very traditional Reaper opening by the looks of things. Or is it? Yeah, it should be. I think it was a 12-12. I kind of missed that. So, hatchery first, followed by a pool. Very common. Still no scout from MarineLord, so he's not gonna know what his opponent is doing so far. And a gas being taken, of course, by Petraeus. And there's the Reaper. That's going to be used for scouting purposes more than anything else. Let's see if he builds a second one. Yes, he does build a second one now. Some players, you know, when they see a Reaper opening, some Zerg players just tend to build like 4 or 6 slings and just rally them all the way across to here, which forces the second Reaper to pretty much defend this SCV building the expansion, unless, you know, you don't. If you don't, then you'll get your expansion delayed or potentially your SCV killed. So let's take a look at what Petraeus wants to do here. Looks like he's not going to be doing well. He does send 2 lings down there, leaving the 4 up here. He's losing a decent amount. Usually you see players almost never losing their lings, so definitely a little bit of a miss micro there. But now with the queen up, Petraeus is going to be free to drone, because you shouldn't ever lose any drones or any lings once you have 2 queens at your natural. So we have these 2 lings. Because the second Reaper is right now at the Zerg, or in the Zerg territory, this SCV can be molested by these lings. And yeah, the expansion is being successfully delayed. Also, since there is a reactor in production over here, which takes about 60 seconds to complete, there will be no defending units. And you can kind of see how simple this is. When you get Reaper harassed, all you have to do, if your opponent is expanding behind this, you just send 2 lings to his expansion, and he has to pull his Reapers off from the harass to deal with that. And you delay their expansion as well, so very, very nicely done. We have 2 gases to follow this up for MarineLord, so I'm kind of expecting a starport to come up after that factory. Oh, scratch that! We have an armory on the way, so this could be a Hellbat opener. The starport should come up either way, but oh, Petraeus, so smart. Did he see something? Did he see that? No, he didn't. It's probably just going by the timings, and he knows that a Hellbat opener is definitely a possibility. And let me tell you, dealing with Hellbats this early in the game can be a nightmare. I mean, if you don't have a Baneling Nest, or you don't have roaches already out, that can be really difficult. It's still going to be moderately close, because the Baneling Nest is not yet down, but MarineLord is delaying the attack for some reason. Oh, okay, he's swapping buildings back home, so maybe that's why. we have any lings already out? Yeah, 5 lings. They will have to be turned into banelings, and they will have to get good hits on top of those hellbats. You don't want to splash pretty much against anything else. Oops, one queen goes down. Second one will go down before these hellbats are even addressed as a threat. Things are not going well so far for Petraeus with this little cloak by MarineLord, and cloak is being used as a follow-up behind this, so the more queens MarineLord kills, the stronger the follow-up will be, and I think this is exactly what he's trying to do. He's targeting the queens down, prioritizing them above everything else. Of course, he will have to fry these lings and banelings, and looks like he won't get a chance to kill any more queens with this, as this gets cleaned up. But, yeah. So, there's the Banshee, there's the Cloak. First Banshee actually already on the way. Do we have any detection anywhere? Yes, we have! Spores are going up, at least in the main base. Let's take a look at the natural. No, the third... You know, the third is completely devoid of drones. So, I'd say that MarineLord's opening was successful in the fact that it slowed down Petraeus quite a lot. And we have a third command center on the way as well for MarineLord. So, double engineering base. He's definitely going to be switching into bio by the looks of it, but compared to game 1, wow, that was close. That Banshee, 14 hit points, and it does go down anyways. Compared to game 1, where MarineLord kind of tried to open with Cloak and harass Petraeus, he was not able to do so, and in this game, this opener so far is celebrating a big success compared to game number 1. Look at the supplies, 79 to 71. Usually, the Zerg player is starting to pull ahead of the Terran player in this stage of the game, and Petraeus is nowhere near saturation, he's nowhere near having mutas out on the field. Game is progressing a lot more slower than it did previously. Still, these mutas may do moderate amounts of damage because those barracks, because of the opening MarineLord's chosen, those barracks are awfully late. We don't even have Stim finished yet, so the Spire is done, 6 mutas are on the way. Does MarineLord suspect anything? I mean, he should start building missile turrets right about now. Right about... Come on, MarineLord. Don't do this to us. Don't lose to Muta opener. Well, opener. Don't lose to Mutalisks, should I say, 2 times in a row. We don't want that. We want to see a game number 3. So you pretty much have to win. Okay? Go. So another poke at the third base. But I think, you know, MarineLord, he's done the damage that he needed to do. He now saw the Mutalisks, so he's getting multiple missile turrets up. Hopefully he will have them up on time. Stim will be done as well as 1-1, so these Mutalisks certainly should be less effective than in game number 1. Oh! Oh, what? Oh! Oh! That hurt! Oh! Just barely not getting the missile turret done. But, you know, never fear, Marines are here. They're gonna chase this back and allow the SCV to happily complete the missile turrets. Petraeus losing 2 Mutalisks over there, completely needlessly. Taking a 4th base, breaking down the central debris. All is looking nice in the land of Petraeus so far. A lot more of an even game than it was before. Now, one thing that I'm a little bit curious about is Petraeus kind of forgot to queue up his melee upgrade over here, I think. He's going to fall behind... Oh, actually, he's already fallen behind in upgrades compared to MarineLord's army, so... This is an entirely different game. MarineLord on 3 bases, he's got the wall off completed, he's building missile turrets everywhere, he's leading in upgrades. And once he starts pushing across the map, like this, it's going to be very difficult for Petraeus, progressively more so. If he can get a foothold with the Widow Mines over here, then he can stage attacks at the 4th, at the 3rd, this way, you know, it's and all the time reinforcements will be streaming in, and the army will only get bigger and bigger and bigger as the time goes on. So what Petraeus really needs right now, I think, are Gosu Baneling hits. Let's take a look over here. He does get a good surround on the forward group of Hellbats and Marines. He moves in. The Widow Mines notwithstanding against those Banelings, but Baneling speed is not down. He's engaging off creep. This is very much so kiteable. And there's still quite enough Marines remaining to push this back. He's sniping Banelings as well. Oh, Petraeus in dire straits right now. Only 4 Banelings remaining, 4 more morphing in, but this is not enough to hold this army back. And all the Banelings get smashed by a Widow Mine, pretty much. This is not looking good, guys, I'm not gonna lie, and more reinforcements are streaming in across the map. Petraeus needs a miracle engagement right now. Oh, good thinking. Blocking the Marines' retreat with more Marines, but they're in fact changelings. Alright, I think the time has passed for MarineLord. He should get his units a little bit more together before he engages again, lest he loses the momentum. So far so good for him, but he needs not to waste units like this, not sending them into the meat grinder one by one. If you can get those together and attack once more, now with 2-2 upgrades instead of 1-1. And the Zerg is still on he only has 1 carapace. I mean, this is going to be pretty awful for Petraeus. I mean, granted now he has link speed, but you know, 0-1 Banelings, 1-1 Banelings and links against 2-2 Marines. I mean, excuse me if I say that this is not going to go well for the Zerg player. And oh, taking a hit onto those mutas as well. Petraeus knows that he's a little bit behind on the upgrades, so he's playing this very cautiously. As long as he can keep mining from those 4 bases, as long as he can keep those injects coming, he should be able to stay alive. MarineLord knows that he will not be able to finish the game off from 3 bases, so he's adding on a 4th command center, and I don't have any doubts in my mind that he will be able to comfortably secure the 4th, or maybe even float it over to the gold, since he's constantly pushing. Nice job by Petraeus trying to cut off the reinforcements, but there are so many of them, 12 Marines at a time, that this little group of Zerglings, that's not going to cut it. And again, MarineLord pressing forward. This is the biggest advantage, I think, for the Terran players on this map. The fact that it's so small. It favors 3 base plays so well. Okay, so I'm going to try to backstab you with my 17 mutas while you're pushing towards my 3rd/4th base, and you'll have to go back, but not quite. I mean, this is only buying time. As soon as MarineLord, well, he's a little bit indecisive. I mean, he's moving forward and backward with this group of Marines. Somebody's been using the select all army hotkey. Yeah, oh, he's trying to cut off the Mutalisks. Oh, so smart! So smart, but unfortunately not smart enough for Petraeus. He saw the trap, and he avoided it skillfully and deftly. Look at this, he's adding on swarm hosts. I've seen him do this versus Terran players that played Bio in the past. He just adds on a couple of swarm hosts to help him with the defense. Oh my goodness, those Banelings did not have a good time. All of those went down before even connecting with the Marines. Those were some pretty good connections, and now Petraeus has no other option but to engage, and this is a favorable position for him as well. Can he finish the job though? There's a huge arc of Marines here for MarineLord, and no, I don't think so. MarineLord looks like has finally broken the defense of Petraeus. Petraeus GG's out of the game, 1-1 it is, and we're gonna go into game number 3.